Spring is right around the corner, just another few weeks of excruciating pain and misery in Berlin, and the sun will be out again. And with it, every man, woman, and non-binary creature in between will start rocking short skirts and t-shirts to show off their tattoo collection. Make sure that the good weather doesn't catch you unprepared and untattooed. Click the link in the description below and book an appointment. Bonjour. I realize I look like a French burglar or something. I'm running out of outfits. I don't know what else to combine with what. Probably there's things in my closet. I just don't know how to put them together. So I ask finally for help to my wife, and she's thinking about it. She said not that she would, but if she would help me, she says that she would need to take me also shopping. So if all of a sudden you see that I start looking cooler and cooler in every episode, you know that she's finally helping me. Fingers crossed. Sorry I'm out of breath. I had to run to the door. Someone was there and I'm starting again. If this comes out when I think it will, it means that yesterday was my birthday. So happy birthday to me. I know I look like I just turned 68, but actually it's only 38. Very poor choices, lifestyle choices. But yeah, I mean, 38 is not bad. It's not that much, but it's still a little bit scary to think about the future. So I thought it would be a good idea today to take you guys with me in a journey into a scary future. And for that, I think I'll need to paint one of my stupid pictures. So the year is, I don't know, we go full-blown Blade Runner with it. The year is 2049. We have two friends, two girls, both blonde and white and young. Close your eyes, can you see them? They're in Vegas for the weekend at the Strip, and they want to commemorate this weekend and their friendship and life in general. So they walk into a tattoo studio. They sit at the lobby. They're greeted by a guy called Greg. And Greg explains them a little bit how the process will work. They have a coffee, because why not, before getting a tattoo in Vegas. And then they walk together to a table that looks like a giant fucking iPad, where they can work on their design on their own, and they put everything that they want in there. There's like friendship and traveling and triangles and cooking and birds for some reason. They choose their typography because of course it needed text also. And once they're happy with the design, Greg asks them, who's gonna go first? And Melissa goes like, I'm gonna be the first one. Melissa is just such a Melissa. So they go to station number 5 with Greg. And they enter this little room. It looks like at a dentist's office, and there's almost like an alien-esque cocoon type machine in the middle, right? It's almost like a tanning bed. And Greg just airdrops the design, asks Melissa to put the arm inside. Boop 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 boop. Like body index mass appears in the screen. Greg determines the depth and goes like, okay, Melissa, here we go. It's gonna take just a second and it's gonna be a small little peak. And she goes like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, am I doing this? Am I crazy? And done. The arm is fully tattooed. The crispest lines you've ever seen in your life. And then How do we call the other one? How do we call her? Lisa? Lisa goes, oh my God, Melissa. I know, Lisa and Melissa. Yeah, it sounds annoying enough that it's plausible. She goes like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I'm scared, I'm not feeling this machine, and I've been sleeping with your boy. I'm so sorry. And runs away. And Melissa goes, what the fuck just happened? This is like the worst day of my life. And Greg goes like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. If I would get a penny for every time that something like this happens in a place like this, I would be rich. But anyway, it still affects me. I it will never get old. I'm so sorry. Of course, tattoo is already done. I need to charge you for that. But if you want, we can remove it right away. We can either reverse the machine and it can erase it, or I can sell you a cream back in at the front, and you put it overnight, and tomorrow it's peeled. And Melissa goes like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna take the cream, but this has been horrific. And off she goes. I honestly think that this is not so long away. When I do these videos, I usually focus on tattooing as an art form. But when I do that, I essentially exclude a whole bunch of other things that also exist within tattooing, right? Tattooing has always been and will always be a healing practice and a sacred ritual and a political statement and a beauty treatment, and of course also a product, right? Actually, one could argue that it's more of a product because there's more of the industry invested in it being a product than anything else, right? So because of the mainstream part of the tattoo industry being so invested in this product becoming more consume efficient, there's the most amount of resources pointing in that direction, right? So the idea when you talk about a product, regardless of the industry, is to make the product cheaper, faster, more appealing, and with shorter cycles, right? Kind of like the fashion industry does with seasonal trends that force you to get rid of the clothes and buy new one, right? Every few weeks, if not months. So there's a bunch of little scattered bits and pieces of technology out there and little wacky experiments that people are doing that they're still, for the most part, disconnected, but someday someone will figure out a way to put them together and turn them into a whole thing, right? But in any case, just based on these little seeds in different places, I am pretty sure that in the future, tattooing will no longer be done by humans, will no longer cause pain, and will no longer be permanent. Peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of I suck at this. But I'm trying. I'm gonna get there. I promise. One day I'm gonna be able to make decent ad reads when this channel has sponsors. But in the meantime, for as long as I don't know how to read like I'm a toddler or something, we need your support. Of course, you can like, share, subscribe, comment. All these things are more than welcome and they truly, really help. But we also need money to keep the lights on. That's why we've launched a GoFundMe campaign to collect donations, not only for this channel, but also to support my other two projects, New Fob and Hiragana Studio. Both of these projects are nonprofits that support independent tattooers in one way or another. And the work that I do there is pro bono, which again is a very fancy way to say for free. Okay, so the cool thing about GoFundMe compared to other crowdfunding platforms is that it's not all or nothing. This means that you don't need to reach the campaign's goal to have access to the donations. So every donation that you send minus a little something for the platform will find its way to us and help us support these projects, and who knows, maybe even get some help. Click the link in the description below, read a bit more about the project, and help us continue the good work. And much like in my story, I think there will be tattoo printers that will be able to not only print perfectly on the skin, but also determine the perfect depth based on your body index mass, right? There will be semi-permanent tattoos, which right now I think are at like a overall life expectancy of 2 weeks or something before they start fading. But I think at some point they'll crack the formula to make them last 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever you want. And of course there will be super high-end tattoo removal. I think there will be kick-ass laser, no doubt. There will be exfoliating creams that will be able to peel your skin and get rid of the tattoos. And I think that there will even be supplements that can break the pigment at a molecular level and have your body absorb it in a natural way and digest it and get rid of it. So I think people in the future will look back at the way we do things nowadays and see it as super primitive and barbaric. I think I always imagine like this guy from our timeline talking to a kid from the future, and the kid going like, "Oh my God, you have tattoos also?" Like, "Oh, I just got this, full bodysuit done last week." And the guy going like, "What? A bodysuit in a week? What the fuck? Let me see." And he sees and goes like, "Oh my God, this is too sharp. There's not even scar tissue here. It's not healing anymore. Like, that's not a tattoo. It's one of these things that you guys put that then goes through the skin and doesn't even..." And the kid from the future goes like, "Oh my God, I forgot how dumb you guys are. Just because I didn't bleed and it's not forever, it's not a tattoo. Hey, easy on that, huh? Show some respect for your elders." But yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? If tattooing is a product, and the biggest pushback you have, besides people that are like fundamentally against tattoos, but the people that are on the fence, is usually always for the same reasons. It's either like, I don't know if I could handle the pain, or like, I don't know that I find any image that I can commit to forever, right? So if you take permanence and pain out of the equation, you quadruple the amount of sales that you can do. And I mean, if you think about sales in terms of how many people you can tattoo a year as a tattooer, forget about that. We're talking the people that will end up having the most interest in these becoming a fast consuming industry are the people that will provide the inks for it, and the needles and the equipment and the components for the printers, and there will be like a gazillion-dollar industry behind these futuristic way of tattooing, right? But like in any other good Star Wars story, there is the Death Star and there is the rebellion. I think in a similar way to what IKEA did for carpenters, and specifically carpenters that make furniture, right? You used to have to go to a carpenter to get fucking furniture done, and then IKEA and similar stores appeared. Boom, everyone gone. 80% of carpenters out of business. But the remaining 20, the ones that were so good that their work went beyond what IKEA could offer, they fucking became rock stars. And I think a big part of it is that they were finally able to say, like, hey, you don't like the way I work? Go to fucking IKEA. If you want like customer service and you want affordable prices, just go to these other guys, right? So I know with every movement comes a counter movement, and I know that if you are the type of tattooer that says perfection and a very painless experience and the best customer service and affordable prices, you are doomed to become obsolete. You will never be cheaper, faster, more perfect, and more customer friendly than a machine will. But on the other hand, if you are doubling down on the human experience and the hand behind the tattoo and the voice and the gesture and the error and the ritual and the experience and the process and the personality, all these things won't be able to be replaced by machines, right? This is one of the main points where I feel that focusing on tattooing as a legitimate art discipline makes the most sense for the future, because I know that anything else will eventually disappear, essentially. I mean, there will be healers, there will be almost like plastic surgeons that use tattoos in a way to enhance your body and to, I don't know, make you look more beautiful. And there will be people that will always be underground when it comes to tattoos. So it won't annihilate the industry as a whole. It will just become a very big part of the mainstream scene, and I think it will reevaluate the worth of having a human doing your tattoo and taking care of you, and that human experience will all of a sudden gain way more value than the one it has now. So perhaps, when questioning this idea of like when will it happen? When will tattooers that approach tattooing as an art form be elevated to the same status that painters and photographers are and whatnot? Maybe it's not so much about what they do and how far they push. Maybe we also need the right context for that to happen, and maybe that context is the industrial revolution of tattooing. Maybe until it doesn't become fully automated, the work of a human tattooer doesn't get the prestige that it deserves. But in any case, this is just the rantings of a 38-year-old man, curious to see where all of these leads. And yeah, pretty excited about the future, actually. I don't know. I know it sounds scary, but I think there will always be room for hope. There will always be room for romantics. There will always be room for people that like things the way they used to be, and that they are a little bit like old school with that, or nostalgic. If we're talking about younger people connecting with the way things used to be done before their time, right? So yeah, that's been it for today. As always, if you feel that these horror visions and other episodes and topics that we've discussed are in line with what you find interesting about tattooing, make sure you give us a little help by liking, sharing, subscribing. There's a fly, the whole episode. Sorry about that. And yeah, you'll find a link in the description below where you can go to GoFundMe and check a campaign that we've created for this year, asking for donations to help us with this project and a couple more that have a similar spirit behind. That's pretty much it. Au revoir. I'll see you next week.